all know it's really tough living in Vancouver. Number one, reduce your expenses. So when I first came to Vancouver, one of the things that I was really excited about was I came here through a scholarship, and part of my scholarship contract was I was gonna get a stipend every semester. I think it was around $6,000. So I was really excited because I think if you convert that, it's about 60,000 emalanging. Guys, I was so excited. But fast forward, when I came here in 2016 in September, I was really waiting for my $6,000, and then I only got 2,000. So I was like, where's the rest? And then I looked through my student account and I realized they had paid for my residence, they had paid for, I don't know, undergraduate fees, they paid for recreational what, like all these expenses that I hadn't accounted for when I was thinking about getting my 6,000. And so in the end, I ended up with $2,000 only for that whole entire semester, which is not a lot. So I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna do some research and figure out if there's a way for me to have more of my 6,000. And the more I did research, then I found out that it's because of I was living in one of the most expensive residences on campus, because when you live in that residence, it comes with the meal plan. Like you can't cancel the meal plan. So I decided to switch, and then I switched to a residence where you could stay and you could cook for yourself, which means I think that saved me around $2,000, and I think that was pretty neat. And so I found a way to reduce my expenses by sort of changing my choices and my, I guess, living conditions then. Number two is, this is pretty obvious, but another way to reduce your expenses as an international student is to get a job, a part-time job. Obviously, you can't leave your studies. I'm not saying stop doing what you're doing. You came here to study, so you can't even. But you could do a part-time job. Usually, I think you have maximum 20 hours per week, so find a job that you can do on the side on days where you don't have classes, because that's the good thing about university is you don't necessarily have to go to class every day. Like you could create a schedule that works around your job or any other things you want to do besides school. So I would definitely suggest getting a job, and this will help because then you can either add your expenses or just know that you have an extra income stream that can help take care of any of your expenses. Number three is to eat out less. It's very difficult because, especially if you're a student, you're so tired from classes, you're so tired from just assignments, I don't know, whatever you're busy with. It really would be nice to just come home and have food ready. And I think eating out gives you that convenience of like you could just walk in, order something, and you can go pick it up in like 20 minutes, or they can deliver it to you in like 30 to 45 minutes. But it costs a lot because someone is delivering it to you. All the convenience has its own costs, obviously. So try to eat out less. I know it's hard. I used to order food out a lot, but just try to order less. Or what you could do actually is to have a budget for eating out less. Does that make sense? So like a budget for like, okay, this is my skip the dishes budget, or this is my Uber Eats budget. So if it's finished for that month, and there's nothing you can do. 4 is DIY. So this might not apply to everyone, but it's just something that I think some people could try and it might work. And by DIY, I mean do it yourself. And my example is when I first came to Vancouver, I came with short hair because I wasn't really sure about the hair industry in this town. Like I didn't know where to go, or if there were actually people who would do my hair, right? Like I really didn't know. And the more I did research, I had a couple of people like guide me, obviously, and they were like, just like wear wigs and pack a lot of braiding hair. And I was just so confused. I was like, wigs, like what the hell? But obviously, fast forward 3 years later, I do wear wigs. So one of the things that I did was I did some shopping, and I found out that people were charging reasonable prices. It's just in my head I would always like convert it to the currency back home, and I'd just be like, it's not worth it. So what I started doing is I started watching a lot of YouTube videos on how to braid your hair yourself, and I literally have been braiding my hair ever since then. And then what I'd do also, sometimes when I went home, I would buy a lot of like hair bundles, and I would make wigs. So this wig that I'm wearing today, I've made it myself. Actually, all the wigs that I have, I've made them myself, except for one that I ordered because it was super cheap. But yeah, so that's obviously saved me expenses because I don't have to worry about like paying for my hair, because back home it was very easy. I would just like every 2 or 3 weeks tell my mom, oh, can I please get money to do my hair? And she'd be like, yeah, sure. But you know, like when you're this side, you kind of have to be independent. And so I had to find a way, and so I do my own hair. I usually do it on long, like when you have a long weekend, like the Monday is a holiday or something, I'll like order some hair or go buy some hair in a shop in Surrey, and I'll just sit down the whole entire weekend and do my hair or make a wig. And now I've got like a couple of options. Number 5 is controlling your budget. First of all, you need a budget. I think if you are an international student and you don't have a budget, your life is nice, hey? Like you must be living a nice life. Because if you don't have a budget, I don't know. I really don't know how you're surviving. How are you doing this life thing in Vancouver? But anyways, if you don't, please get a budget. I think it's really good to have a budget, because a budget helps you to see, okay, I get this much amount of money from my job, I get this amount of money from my parents, or stipend, or that scholarship, whatever your financial situation is, and then this is how much I pay for rent. It just helps for you to see where your money is coming from, your income, and then where all your costs are going to, or like where your money is going to. So your rent, your utilities, your MSP. And to be honest, the moment I started having a budget, everything just felt like I knew what was happening with my money, you know. And it also helped me not to like do the other things, like eat out less, because I know, oh, okay, you're only gonna get paid in 2 weeks, so you can't just like eat out. If you eat out, how are you gonna pay for your MSP, or how are you gonna pay for your utilities? So yeah, I think that's another way to control your expenses. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and even share this video to any other international students who might find it helpful.